In this video, we will determine the values of the tangent of x and the tangent of z. Now, tangent, I know it says tan here, but tan is short for tangent, and tangent is the ratio of two specific sides of a right angle triangle. It is the opposite side divided by the adjacent side. But the important thing here is we have to know what angle we're looking from. So in the question it says determine the tangent of x. We're going to look at that one first. So if I'm looking at the tangent of x, it means I'm looking from angle x. And I have to name my sides, my opposite and my adjacent sides. Now my opposite side from angle x would be the one that is across from it, across from the angle. We would often label this side x. Lowercase x is opposite of capital X. So the opposite is 6. Now the adjacent side would be 12 in this case. Now the reason why it's 12 is because the side across from the right angle is always the hypotenuse. So if we already have the opposite and the hypotenuse figured out, then the one that is adjacent is the one that's left. Now another way to think about this is use a different word. A different word than adjacent is beside. So what side is beside angle x? Well, it's either going to be the longest side, which is the hypotenuse, or the other side, which would be the adjacent side. So that's another way of thinking about it. So now we just have to enter those in. So the opposite side is 6, the adjacent side is 12, and then if we can reduce it into a smaller fraction, simplify that fraction. Of course, we can divide both of them by 6 and get 1 over 2. Now it's often we want to think about ratios as fractions because it's a comparison of two sides. But we can write a fraction as a decimal, and sometimes we're going to want to do that as well. So 1/2 as a decimal is 0.5. And that would be the tangent of x. Now the tangent of z, now we're looking from a different angle, but we're going to be using the same numbers. So now we're looking for the tangent of z. Because I'm looking from z, this is now my opposite side. My opposite side is now 12. My adjacent side is the one that is beside z, that's not the hypotenuse. This is definitely the hypotenuse because it's the longest side and it's across from the right angle. So the one that is beside would be 6. That's the adjacent side. And again, just like we did before, we can simplify this. 12 over 6 would be 2 over 1. And sometimes it's nice to leave that as a fraction like this because it is a ratio, but that is just equal to 2. And that is another way of writing it. Now, one of the things to think about, and it's something you'll learn in later courses in math, is if the tangent is less than 1, then this angle is less than 45 degrees. If your tangent is greater than 1, then that means this angle is bigger than 45 degrees.